I think there's a little bit of flexibility you can have with Vel'Koz. You can use the Disintegration Ray to zone or to, you know, deal chunks of damage because, you know, that DPS over time is definitely very, very painful, especially with that percentage health element combined to it.
Yeah, but I already want to talk about the Shen pickup coming in from IPT, because if you see a hard engaged team composition, straight away people should react with a split push composition, because that is the counter to a hard engaged comp. So they pick the Shen, they are going for the split push comp, so only Echo will be able to stop this Shen, and this causes a lot of map pressure to be eased by the IPT squad. So less engaged might come through with that Shen pick.
That's right, so for Imperium Pro team, definitely looking for the element of split pushing, but just overall having a pretty well balanced composition. But for Saigon Jokers, definitely having a more team fighting theme to it. But this is going to be game point, ladies and gentlemen, for the Saigon Jokers. If they can pull this one off, they will be proceeding on to the finals. And welcome to Summoner's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Imperium Pro team starting on the blue side, SAG on the red, with IPT looking for the equalizer, of course.
Right, so both mid lane and the top lane of IPT opted for the teleport, and so did SAJ. So lots of global threats gonna come in for both teams. So we'll see if the bottom lane matchups do come in. Should there be a 2v2 matchup up in the bot lane, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of early game fights. But should that happen, IPT definitely has the advantage, because their level 6 power spike is stronger than SAJ.
Yeah, much stronger as well. But I mean, for Imperium Pro team, they definitely have some defensive mechanics with both the Wild Growth as well as the Lamb's Respite. And some, you know, analysts around the world have even argued that, you know, you can sort of fit Kindred into that pseudo tank role, because that Lamb's Respite is going to be able to sort of keep your team alive a little longer, and that fulfills the same role as what you want a tank to do, which is to extend the team fight, keep it a little longer, so that your DPS can continue to, you know, chunk people down, you know, land those spears in. In this case, it's because it's the Kalista. So I think for Imperium Pro team, they definitely have some sort of thematic to, or rather some sort of thematic approach to this. They want as much defensive mechanisms as possible to protect this hate in this case. But it's just about Saigon Jokers. They need to catch up onto hate. If they can do so, then this plan is just going to be faulty.
Right, so Celebrity will be able to take up the double golems off that blue buff. And this will cause IPT's double jungle to be slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, you lose that chunk of experience as well. So great stuff coming through from Saigon Jokers. It's all this level 1 micro plays like this that makes all the differences in the lane swap situation. And Su right here, in fact, looking to deny this one away, forcing Suez to use the smite. Now they're going to chase down onto Su as well. No more power rise from him. I believe JLC didn't level up that taunt, so I'm not going to have that coming through. Celebrity though, up in the top lane, just having his free time, CSing up, so no troubles for him whatsoever. In the level 3 stage as well, and now Roll moving towards the top side of the map.
Alright, so this is actually pretty smart from SAJ. They know that Nautilus actually made a roam around the mid lane, so they're actually going for the extremely fast push. That's why Rove is already here. And they will be faster in terms of this lane swap. So down the bottom lane, I'm sure Kalista is slower in this lane swap, so should SAJ actually get this tower faster, it's going to mean quite a lot for them.
That's right, JLC sitting at no CS as well, so level 1 moving towards the bottom side, looking to root off his teammates. And like you said, you know, the rotation is much slower coming through from Imperium Pro team, so they're going to lose out in the pushing game here as the rest of SAJ finishes off this turret. Saigon Jokers just as much as possible looking to deny this wave and reset this one. So standard play coming through from Ro. And Imperium Pro team finally catching up to the pace here. And they should. Oh, JLC though taking a bit of damage.
Wow.
Yeah, so kind of misjudging the turret aggro. Take a few pot shots. Can start to feel the frustration kicking in for the Imperium Pro team at this stage.
Bit of a worrying start. Oh, will JLC actually be able to take this turret? Because
yeah, he does take the turret, and teleport does come in from Rodo. They are looking to chase through the phase dive now onto Poisanity, forcing the support to blow the flash as well. They're going to chase down the parallel convergence, use to slow Poisanity down for a bit. And here comes Su, does the hit, has the hit, but has the power rise as well. Celebrity gonna chase in. That's gonna be the first blood now going over to the top laner of SAJ, and now they're gonna chase in. Light flashes out as well. Here comes Lavina off to the side. He's in for some action. A 5-man stack down on the bottom side of the map for SAJ, and they will back off for now. A lot of resources being blown, but it is going to be Saigon Jokers that come out ahead.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay coming in from GLC right there, as well as Poisanity. Should have communicated that he wouldn't be able to get the turret. Wow!
Oh wow!
Damage coming through from the lead already.
That's right, big chunks of damage, and this is the time where you just cannot underestimate the combined prowess of Vel'Koz as well as Ezreal.
So thankfully the tower actually went down for IPT, so it's sort of even in the lane swap game. But SAJ has already sort of a head start in terms of first blood as well as damage onto the bottom lane turret. And Bro up in the top lane, he will be able to pick up tons of CS for himself, so GLC not having a good start.
Yeah, and this is a detrimental start as well, because this snowball is just gonna snowball out of control if Ro is, you know, sort of not controlled in this particular situation. It's already level 4 compared to GLC's level 2, and as you mentioned, a huge wave of CS that he was able to catch on this top side of the map. He has that 1 kill as well. So if you just look at the first opening minutes, if Ro can keep this going, then definitely he's gonna have a good advantage moving to the level 6 mark. And right now Lavina as well, you know, we saw him blow that teleport to move down into the bottom lane. Now down by about 10 CS or so, but I don't think it really matters for him because, you know, there's that flexibility of that Vel'Koz pick that we were talking about earlier.
Right, so Shen going up in the top lane. Ro decided not to go for that freeze. Shen will be there to pick up the CS for himself. Level 6 power spike not coming in just yet for JLC, so he will not have that global presence just yet. Probably want to pick up this top lane, and he is already. Ro does not have the teleport, so should a skirmish happen in the jungle as of now, JLC will have the advantage.
Yeah, Saigon Jokers just moving in early on every direction. We did see both Jinky as well as Su just looking around, looking for Suez. Did manage to find him, but just a little too late to catch him out. But nevertheless, usually he's not going to stay around the region. Boron, while Ro up in the top lane, might get caught out by Suez over here. Parallel convergence being used as well. Some action on the bottom side of the map, and Poisanity is going to pull himself in, or rather further away from the rest of SAJ. For now, SAJ just having their sights set on the important points of the map.
Yeah, so no kills coming through just yet, but as we saw in the top lane, we already can see how Ro was able to 2v1 JLC as well as Suez. So as I mentioned, JLC not really having that much of a good time, does not have any items completed just yet. Echo with sort of a 3 times CS advantage over JLC.
That's right, and right now SAJ, apart from that huge dive that they had from the bottom side of the map, has just decided to back off for now. We did see a bit of a exchange of blows up on the top and bottom side, but I think right now they will be happy to just sit back and farm up a bit until the stage where every single one of their member hits that level 6 power spike. Just waiting on to Celerity as well as Su, and that's the big power spike that you mentioned about at the very start of the game.
So this bottom lane, Hate is trying his best to push it up, because if he doesn't push it up to the turret, Celebrity will be there to freeze it up. So Celebrity will be able to freeze up the bot lane with Tear of the Goddess as well as Khal picked up by him. That is where IPT will be forced to make more skirmishes in the jungle. But Shen does not have the level 6 power spike just yet.
Yeah, that's right. That's where the level deficit from the start is starting to kick in. JLC now, he's not going to be able to join his team if there's going to be a numbers disadvantage on IPT when they go for the skirmish.
So Ro is actually doing a really great job in controlling the Shen.
Yep.
Because as any laner, if you're up against something like a global threat, Twisted Fate, Shen, you have to shove it up, shove his lane up so that he can't really teleport as effective. What I mean by that is, should he teleport, his lane is shoved up so he'll lose tons of EXP and minions. So shoving up right now, Ro is actually doing a really great job in controlling JLC.
That's right, and he's having no remorse as well, just, you know, attacking non-stop onto JLC. You can start to see the power of this Echo thing right now. This tank Echo. Lots of damage, and lots of tankiness. Now on the bottom side of the map, we did see Suez rotate to the bottom side together with Jinky, just mirroring each other in terms of movement.
Something different I've noticed is Jinky actually opting for that Rooting Echoes. So we don't see that often on a Sidrani. And Rooting Echoes has been nerfed this patch. I think it's 20 AP down as compared to last time. So going for the Rooting Echoes, I'm really not sure why he would opt for that. Cinderhawk definitely would have been a better choice, in my opinion. Especially since SAJ lacks tanks.
That's right. Kind of a weird situation, and speaking about weird, Ro finds himself in a weird position as he fights both Lai as well as JLC. And Rona has to back up for now. Still has the chrono break though, so still holding on to it, doesn't need to blow it to escape out of that fight. He did have Jinky come around the vicinity to help top laner out, so not too much trouble for him. Now off to the side, Celebrity getting caught out by Poisanity as well as Kate. And here comes the ultimate. And
oh wow!
Transport that in. What a great combo, and Celebrity does get taken down. And now off to the side, we'll see Lavina 1 versus 3. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it though. Multiple ultimates being blown out on the side of or rather from IPT. So he's just gonna try to stick around, but Hate does secure the kill up onto Lavina. And man, that combination, holding the Nautilus in on top of the Shen ultimate was just pretty much a sight to behold.
You can say it's a submarine composition. Have you heard that before?
It's the submarine composition
with the Evelyn, but now we have the Nautilus, so submarine. But not really sure why Lovida came through with that teleport. Ezreal was already dead. Alright, we'll see a replay of that fight. So Celebrity alone here. Alistar went to ward. That's why Poisanity went up for the aggression. Manages to land the Dreadline on him. Follow up by the ultimate. That is when the Shen ultimate came in, the Fate's Call. All of them was able to fly over. And then Vel'Koz followed up with the teleport, and then he just fell as well. So not really that good in terms of rotations for SAJ.
Yeah, maybe he just simply didn't expect 2 members of IPT to be there. And that's definitely helping IPT catch up a bit in this game. In fact, you saw, you know, with that little bit of boost for JLC, with the 2 assists that he picked up earlier, he managed to go back to pick up the Spectre's call, and now back up into the top lane. Ro is starting to struggle a little bit facing up against JLC at this stage, but it's not over yet because Saigon Joker still have a minor goal lead against the Imperium Pro Team, but quickly cancel away. Our biggest, or rather, you know, what I really want to see now is for Kate to accelerate this game, because he has picked up 2 kills a little earlier. Now down by almost 20 CS, but it doesn't quite matter because that kill is going to be, those kills are going to be more important overall. Should be finishing up the BOTRK soon as we see Imperium Pro Team off of that last fight down the bottom lane, perhaps get a little more confidence pushing up on the top side of the map.
That's what we've been talking about. Channeling all your resources onto Hate. In the mid lane we already, my goodness,
wow,
see a double kill actually.
For Lavina.
Yeah, hopefully we get a replay of that. But Kalista already picking up 2 kills in the early stages, definitely gonna be helpful for IPT. But Lovida as well, picking up 2 kills for himself.
They're gonna watch out for Suez though. He's gonna try to chase down onto Lavina, but I think he understands that he doesn't have quite enough damage to roll through. And now on the back end, Hate getting zoned out. We'll see Ro take him down, and now Poisanity all by himself up against 3 members of SAJ. I don't think he should be gonna be able to run out of this one. Who's gonna be the one to secure the kill though? This time it is going to be Su. Bloodthirsty support brings up 1 on the kill board.
Yeah, things just suddenly went to a 360-degree turn for IPT right there. They were having the pace of the game. They were in the top lane sieging, but all of a sudden all of them just died. So just not capitalizing on their advantage. We saw how Suez went into the mid lane, then immediately SAJ capitalized in the top lane. Here we have a replay of double kill. Lovita getting caught up, Shen diving. Oh my! So Lulu already burned the ultimate onto Shen. That's why he got blew up so quickly, and then Lovita, just with that kiting potential, burst them under his turret.
Yeah, that's right. So never underestimate this Vel'Koz from Lovita, man. And I'm looking at the rest of the teams participating in the semi-finals as well. They will be looking at this series and saying, well, okay, that's this Vel'Koz pick, so we gotta watch out for that as well. So definitely some materials to reference about. And by the way, do you know that turning 360 degrees just brings you back to your original spot?
Until the...
Yeah, just turn one full circle. You gotta learn some geometry from Lovita, man.
Alright, alright.
Yeah, you gotta learn some geometry. 360 is just turn back to the original spot.
Okay, so Morello as well as Lajra completed for Lovita, so he will be spiking up soon. We'll see if he goes for that Luden's Echo or the Rylai's. But SAJ already setting up for this mid lane siege.
Oh man, this could be painful. And there we go now, this integration raid down onto the Lulu here. Lai's gonna stay alive for now. And we are gonna see the TP come through from Ro as well. And yeah, he cancels the teleport. So thought things were gonna be ugly there, but once again the defensive mechanism coming through from Imperium Pro Team to keep Light alive. But for how long I wonder, because the rest of SAJ are coming in with the siege. On the bottom side as well, Ro just continuously split pushing in this case. Second tier turret already down to half health, and here we go now, Light does get taken down. Celebrity going in very aggressively as well, and the taunt down does come through. JLC does assist with the second kill here. Suez now chasing onto Jinky, does take him down, and Kate does get the return kill on the AD carrier, and now Ro collapsing down onto Poisanity. Should be able to pick this one up. Just a matter of time. No, that's the shutdown now going over to Suez, and double kill eventually does happen. Very scrappy fight overall, but it's going to be a 3 for 3. I think Pro Team will be happy with that result.
Yeah, definitely a huge dive coming in for SAJ. We saw the 3-man ultimate from the Sejuani, but IPT were there to react. Great teleport coming in from JLC. Was able to deal some sort of damage, but Suez, once again, as I mentioned, the other AD carry, even though Hate was down, Suez was there to deal the range damage that they needed, the DPS they needed. Finally, he's up by 2 kills.
Yeah, that was kind of the little tunnel that SAJ sort of dug themselves into, which was very similar to game number 1, which was that, you know, you have this great, you know, setup from Jinky with the ultimate, but it was at a point when Lovita, his ultimate was not up yet, so you definitely don't want to go for the fight. They did dive, and it was between 2 turrets as well, so when you're in that situation, it's very difficult for you to deal sufficient damage to kill your opponents and get out of there. So I think in that case, Imperium Pro Team recognized that they could take the fight, they turned it around, and then they got the 3 versus 3. And when you're in a situation when you're down by this much gold in the very early stages in the game, that's definitely going to help you, especially with Hate now finishing up the BOTRK. So great stuff coming through from Imperium Pro Team. We're going to see if they'll be able to drag this game long enough so that Hate gets online. And you know, Psycho Jokers, of course, they're still in the lead here, but they cannot afford to make too many mistakes like what they did earlier.
Or this Suez opting for the more aggressive build, has that 3 daggers. Not opting to complete that Maul of Mortis. Actually, might go for that BOTRK. We see Dragon already being set up, but up in the top lane, for Sanity.
Oh, they're gonna focus down onto Hit, which is gonna be the key target. Hit snipes him down with the True Shot Barrage. Poisanity is the next target. That's just by being thrown out just to keep Nautilus a little alive longer, but in the end, that's 2 picks being secured by Saigon Jokers, and like you said, sights set onto the Dragon kill. So that's going to be the first Dragon on board for them as well. Up in the top lane though, Ro's going to get chased down by both Light as well as JLC. The Chrono Brick being used just to stay alive a little longer. And there we go, Ro should be going down in this case. Light picks up this kill.
That's actually a great catch by Jinky over there. Set his sights onto Hate, not tunneling onto Poisanity, knowing that the Fate's Call will be used. So he threw his Glacial Prison onto Hate. And they immediately got a catch onto him, and that resulted in the Dragon. But up in the top lane, a return kill onto Ro.
That's right, but overall Saigon Joker is still coming out ahead because they got their 2 picks. Yes, IPT did return with 1, but SAJ got the Dragon as well. So it's slowly turning into the situation where SAJ is taking more whenever IPT tries to return with something of their own. So Saigon Joker is definitely brushing off that little mistake that they had in the dive earlier on in the mid lane and just slowly recovering from that.
Hate surely gonna go for that QSS once he finishes up the Runan's Hurricane. So that will definitely be helpful for him in the mid stages once he completes that item. It is basically SAJ's only form of engage, the Sejuani ultimate, sort of. It will be their trigger. So once the QSS on active, Lulu ultimate as well as the Shen ultimate will be there to execute this team composition that IPT is going for.
I'm looking at Light's item build right now. It has the Lich Wing included. Luden's Echo, probably the more popular item for Lulu. What are your thoughts on that? You know, you have more single target damage, but is that what you really need at this point?
For Light, for Lulu, Luden's Echo as compared to the Lich Bane is probably a little similar in terms of the amount of movement speed you get through the Aether Wisp. Luden's Echo as well as Lich Bane provides that. And single target damage, I feel it's around the same. It's better for Lulu to get the Lich Bane as compared to the Luden's Echo.
Okay.
So maybe it's because Light does not have that amount of money for Neely's large rod as well. So he went for the lesser amount of gold items. But now we see teamfight in the jungle.
Yeah, there we go. Now we'll see if that Luden's Echo, or rather the Lich Bane, pays off. So we're gonna start the fight.
Wow.
Huge disintegration ray. Zones out Imperium Pro Team. Suez as well as Vitality has to back out of there. Ro does clean up the support of Imperium Pro Team though, and Saigon Jokers pushing on ahead. It is a 4v5 situation, but the ultimate for Levita is now down. But you don't really care though. Suez getting locked up by the Blazing Prison. Every fight being used to buy a couple of seconds more. And JLC now comes in for the fight, but just gets head-butted away by Su. And now JLC is going to be the next target here. And roll off to the side, using the chrono break, shifts himself back into the safety of the teammate. And Suez coming out with the home gun to try to buy some extra time. He's going to flash out as well. Celebrity gets the snipe down with the Mystic Shot. And SAJ will be able to secure the bottom inhibitor for themselves. And might be looking for more though. Here comes Imperium Pro Team looking for the return fight. This is going to be JLC securing the first kill onto Celebrity and now chasing down onto Levita, next key target. The rest of Imperium Pro Team still chasing on. SAJ looking for the build here. Hate looking to chase IPT Light, picking the kill onto Ro. And this should be the end of the fight as we get Imperium Pro Team scurrying for a couple of return kills while SAJ makes the exit. But damage has been done. Once again, the real estate property for Saigon Joker is looking good as they secure the bottom inhibitor.
Yeah, the real question now is will they be able to start off the Baron? They are heading up to it, right? So they do have the color star, they're going for the Baron right now. Teleport already channeled by Levita. I doubt IPT will be able to finish this Baron.
Yeah, we'll see. Levita needs to be somewhat patient with his ultimate as well. But Imperium Pro Team looks like they want to finish off this one. Farside Alteration being thrown down. They have vision of this one. Here we go now. The sweep from the ultimate is not going to be quite enough. And Imperium Pro Team, they do secure the Baron. Will Saigon Jokers be able to clean this one up though? First they get Poisanity, next they get JLC. And that is also going to be Suez going down in this case. The only one with the Baron buff now left alive is going to be hit. But Ro wants to chase him down. Should have a couple more seconds towards the face dive, but opting not to do so. So in the end, Imperium Pro Team, they did get the Baron, but at the cost of 4 teammates. Pretty sure that that's not going to be worth it for the IPT squad, as the rest of SAJ now collapse onto the mid side of the map. The inhibitor turret is going to go down. I think the inhibitor is going to follow, but Saigon Jokers chooses to go for the safer route. They will bail out for now.
Yeah, for sure not worth it for IPT. 4 members down, which causes only Hate to have the Baron buff, unless IPT is able to make use of Hate with the Baron buff and start pushing up a lane and probably get an ace of some sort, it will definitely not be worth for IPT right there. Inhibitor down for them. Inhibitor turret in the mid lane down for them. So SAJ already with the 7k gold lead, looking for the mid inhibitor soon.
Yeah, that's right. And Celebrity finishing up that Manamune. So sort of a similar situation as compared to game 1, where there's no real big burst of damage, but instead a little bit of DPS over time for SAJ was more than enough to keep IPT at bay. Might have spoken too soon though, because Jinky is currently chasing in, or rather getting chased at, and now Celebrity is gonna shift over the wall, and this is gonna be the second dragon of the game going over to SAJ. They might be looking to chase onto Poisanity. The ultimate from Hate is gonna pull him back into safety range, but another objective now taken away from SAJ. It's looking super dire for the Imperium Pro team, and their finals, or rather their hopes of going to the finals are looking super dire as well.
So I've been talking about the split push composition of IPT. We already see how JLC is forced to be with the members of IPT, just disallowing the split push comp to come in. So SSJ is playing this pretty well. JLC will be forced to go into the bottom lane to defend that bottom inhibitor. But just this split push composition not coming into place for IPT. They really need the inhibitor to respawn, start picking up the pace, and then re-establish that split push.
That's right. And now, the only member with the Baron buff left on defensive duties. Definitely gonna help out a fair bit, but again, now in the mid lane, we did have Saigon Jokers push that turret down a little earlier, so it's also going to be a Mega Inhibitor that Imperial Pro team needs to defend.
So bottom inhibitor is gonna respond soon. So Shen will be there to start split pushing. It's actually heading up into the mid lane. Game is starting to slow down a little bit for both teams. Just clearing out the vision, getting into vision control. JLC will be heading up into the top lane. Hopefully from now on we will see IPT go with that split push strategy. Kalista already has that Quicksilver stash completed, so he is pretty safe in terms of getting locked up by the Glacial Prison. But once again, JLC not going into the top lane, not making full use of that Shen ultimate. I would say he's practically useless to be stationed up in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's kind of that situation where if you're meant to be a split pusher, you should be off to the side, but because of how active Saigon Jokers have been, and how they have been able to keep every single member of IPT contained within the base, it makes it so difficult for this Shen take to work out. As right now we are gonna see Celebrity might be caught out a little bit soon now. Right smack in the center and off to the back. We do have JLC finally off to the back, just zoning out multiple members, but Lavina with his disintegration rate doing so much damage. Celebrity gets the kill onto JLC, now focusing towards Knight. That's the double kill for him right now. Does he get the third one onto hit? And yes, he does. He might be looking for the Quadra right here. Does he get it? No, it's going to be Rogue that secures that one, but that is going to be the ace for Saigon Jokers. And this should be the game as well. Just waiting for the creeps to push in. But again, with that team, the respawn timers are rather low, or rather high in this point. So Saigon Jokers should be able to pick up this win. This Nexus turret falls. The second Nexus turret falls as well. And ladies and gentlemen, your finalists of the GPL Spring 2016, the first team is going to be the Saigon Jokers.
What a great performance by Saigon Jokers over there, especially on Lovita with that Vel'Koz. Picked it twice already. Didn't really do that. He really didn't have an impact in the third game, but right here in the fourth game we showed, especially the double kill in the mid lane, able to get the snowball going for him and just doing tons of damage up in the late game.
Yeah, that's right. And if you were watching that game as well, you can look at Lovita's Vel'Koz kind of as a clinic on how flexible this pick can be. And sort of like a pocket pick as well. Look at the amount of damage that he dealt over time to champions. You know, he has the highest on the team and by far the highest across the board as well. So, I mean, you can look at this game kind of as a clinic, and we're in a current state of meta where utility mid laners are just so strong. You know, sometimes there are certain champions that people tend to forget. You know, whenever you look at utility meets, you look at the likes of, like you said
Lulu.
during the start of picks and bans, Azir, Orianna definitely in those ranks. But then once in a while you have this like pocket picks like Vel'Koz. Saigon Jokers pulled this one off well and showed us a great victory, but it was a hard fought one, of course. If you look at the overall series, game number 1, it was Imperium Pro Team that picked that one up, and that game was so impressive for IPT, and we thought that definitely they're gonna give SAJ a run for their money in terms of perhaps some of the biggest overall veterans in the GPL. And for the Imperium Pro Team, definitely doing very well in game number 1, but subsequently they didn't have an answer to this Vel'Koz.
Yeah, IPT tried to go with the strategy that SAJ went in the second game, is just focusing all their resources onto the AD carry. However, Hate just wasn't able to do that much, considering the fact that he had so much kills in the early stages, as well as the Lulu ultimate. But overall, he wasn't able to carry IPT to victory. And I want to mention again, the JLC just wasn't split pushing correctly, and the Shen pick wasn't really that great for me.
Yeah, and I guess he was kind of like a victim of the circumstances as well, because he couldn't really, fulfill to that potential. Yeah, so right now we are gonna have actually I was about to say, for SAJ, they will be moving on to the finals, and we are gonna have later on in the day KLH going up against BKT. So that is also going to be a series that we have to watch out for, and of course for those two guys, they have to watch out for some of the picks that were devised earlier on today. Yeah, and of course another guy that I want to mention is going to be Celebrity. Yeah, so right now we are going to be having an interview with the winners of that best of 5 series, which is of course going to be Saigon Jokers. I'm going to throw the time now over to Pasho, who will have a few words with our winning team.
Thank you very much, Chris. We are here with the man himself, Jinky, the jungler from Saigon Jokers of Vietnam. Once again, congratulations on your win against the Imperium Pro Team of Philippines. Now, I just want to ask you a few questions about the game and how you feel. So my first question for you is, you've already played with Imperium Pro Team in the group stages, and you've lost against them. But today, in the semifinals, in the best of 5, you managed to win them. What changes had to be made in order to make this possible?
Vì thay đổi được cái trận thua trước BRT vòng bảng ở đây thì tụi em thắng được BRT, thì cái gì đã thay đổi giúp tụi em thắng được?
Em nghĩ có lẽ bọn em thắng được APT là nhờ tính đoàn kết và có thể là kinh nghiệm bọn em cao hơn bên APT, chứ thực lực của APT cũng rất là đáng gờm. Đây là một đội nếu mùa sau còn gặp lại tức là một đội rất là mạnh, nên có lẽ là bọn em sẽ cố gắng hết sức để đánh với APT vào mùa sau.
He said that the losing before in the group stage, have a lesson for them. So they learned about that, and they win this match. And Jinky said that IBT is a great team, and they're very careful for this match, so they won.
Obviously, we know both teams are very great, but again, you obviously had to practice a lot and train a lot, and you learned your lesson, and now you've actually managed to win this victory. So my second question for you is, after the break, we're going to have Bangkok Titans of Thailand go against Kuala Lumpur Hunters of Malaysia, and you're going to face one of those teams in the finals. Which team do you want to face more, and why?
Sắp tới là trận bán kết giữa Kuala Lumpur với Bangkok Thailand, thì đội nào em thích gặp hơn ở trận chung kết và tại sao? Thích gặp đội nào trong chung kết và tại sao?
Có lẽ Kuala Lumpur và BKT thì chắc chắn là ai cũng vậy, thì chọn là Kuala Lumpur, nhưng mà nếu về thích team để đối đầu nhất thì em vẫn thích team BKT nhất, vì BKT là đối thủ trước giờ SRG vẫn chưa vượt qua, thì em muốn lần này chứng minh cho mọi người thấy rằng SRG đang mạnh lên và sẽ tiến qua tất cả.
Yeah. Between Kuala Lumpur Hunter and SAG is the same for Jinky and SAG. Between BKT and Kuala Lumpur Hunter is the same for SAG. But he say he like to face Kuala Lumpur Hunter. If they won the champion, it's more easier for them to face Kuala Lumpur Hunter. But according to Jinky, he like to face BKT because he want to prove for everybody that they are strong. SAG is stronger and they want to win BKT again.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to the last question, I want to know, it's a question about the game. We saw La Vida go with a well-caused pick in the last 2 matches. Obviously, it's something that we didn't see in this tournament, and it surprised us all. So I want to know, was that something that La Vida was secretly practicing with, and he just brought it up in the semifinals to surprise everyone, or he's comfortable with it? I just want to know about the pick and the logic behind it.
Họ muốn biết cái bí mật là tại sao là tại chọn cái con Velcott, tại vì Velcott nào giờ chưa xuất hiện ở cái giải GBL này thì có cái điều gì muốn nói về con Velcott ngắn gọn không?
Thật ra thì ở Việt Nam Velcott của Lovida đã xuất hiện 2 lần và đã đem được rất nhiều bất ngờ và cũng là chiến thắng cho toàn đội, nên chỉ ở GBL mới không thấy thôi, chứ ở người hâm mộ Việt Nam thì ai cũng biết rằng Velcott của Lovida là số 1.
Yeah, he said that for the Vietnamese fan, Velcott is normally to Lovida. He plays out Velcott, and by Velcott they won the championship in Vietnam. It's a normal champion for Lovida, and to Lovida, Velcott is that's best champion. Yeah.
That's right. Well, once again, congratulations on your win in the semifinals. You obviously secured your place for the finals, and we hope to see you tomorrow. And guys, I just want to say we're gonna see you right after the break for the Bangkok Titans of Thailand going against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters of Malaysia, which is gonna secure one of their team's places for them to go against Saigon Jokers of Vietnam for tomorrow. So once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you right after the break.